Hi, good morning. Sorry, just wanted to let everyone know that we will be starting in just a couple minutes, so if everyone could take their seats and just bear with us for a minute or two, we will be starting our second day of Re-Aim, and we are very, very excited to see what we have ahead of us today. So please take your seat and just bear with us for a minute, and we will be starting. Thank you. Hello, good morning. We are officially starting now our second day of our Responsible AI in the Military Domain Summit. If everyone could please take their seats. We have a very busy but very interesting agenda. I hope everyone had time to kind of digest everything we discussed today. It was a lot, but we're gonna continue working today. I'm now introducing our strategic dialogue, perspectives from the Spanish Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. This is a very interesting section that brings together the Spanish Army, the Navy, and the Air Force to share how each of them is advancing in the responsible integration of artificial intelligence, reflecting also separately, but also in a joint commitment to innovation, but also responsibility. To do this, I would like to introduce our moderator for this session, and that is Lieutenant General José María Millán, Director of the Center for Information and Communication Systems and Technologies. Please welcome our panelists on stage. Thank you.
Gracias.
Well, good morning, everyone, to this second day of this very interesting and important meeting. Welcome all the members of the REAIM community. I'm very happy to belong to this relevant community as well. Let me introduce very briefly our panelists. Fernando Morón, Major General Fernando Morón, Spanish Army. He's responsible for doctrine development and army investigation back down in Granada, very nice place. He's in charge of the Army AI Reference Center as well. Rear Admiral Javier Vázquez is an outstanding leader in the Navy digital transformation process. He's the first service who entered this digital transformation process in the Ministry of Defense. And finally, General Alejandro Chueca, Spanish Air Force and Space Force. Yeah, he's director of the Air Staff and responsible of the digital transformation process in the Air Force as well. So you are in front of authentic specialists in digital transformation and artificial intelligence as well. Okay, the integration of AI into our forces is not longer a peripheral concern. It's a central pillar of operational effectiveness. However, as our Chief of Defense noted yesterday in his inspirational speech, any artificial intelligence, any weapon system that doesn't adhere to fundamental ethical principles cannot be considered as useful by the Spanish Armed Forces. This is the case of the artificial intelligence solutions. During this session, we will try to explore critical dimensions. The first one is the operational impact AI has in the different services. Let's start with Fernando Morón. Why is AI becoming a strategic priority for the Army? Open fire.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. And it's an honor for me to be representing the Army in this auditorium. I guess AI is strategic for the Army, and I guess it's the same for the sister services, because the Spanish Army is increasingly operating in a faster, more complex, and more demanding environment than ever, I could say. So AI helps us process information, connecting systems, and supporting commanders in making timely and more informed decisions. So it improves readiness, sustainment, and command and control. But I want to make clear, does that not replace the human? And that is important. So AI is not a goal in itself, not even a commodity. In our Army 2035 transformation process, we say in Spanish, Ejército 2035, AI is an enabler for effectiveness, interoperability, and credibility. So its value for us is strengthening the force, supporting leadership, and ensuring that the Army can fulfill its missions, even in peacetime, crisis, or high-intensity conflict. That's it.
What is very important is to have AI as enabler of an actual and already planned the Spanish Force 2035. This is very important to have this disruptive technology as an enabler.
Yes, systems make behavior, and if we get deep into the issue, AI and even digital transformation is very linked and intertwined with our mission command leadership structure and leadership philosophy. Yes.
Okay. What about the Navy, Admiral?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. Good morning to everybody who's attending here in this forum. I think it's essential. It's an essential forum. Well, the Spanish Navy, as all navies, are dealing with different domains, up to 5 different domains at the same time. So for us, AI is an essential enabler in order to deal with these 5 domains at the same time when you're at sea. when we are thinking about that everything is going to be really, really fast in the now and in the near future, we are talking about hypersonic missiles. We are talking about that we need to be very efficient in all the time consuming, because the decision process is going to be reduced, drastically reduced, and that's where the AI needs to be there. We have to think that in a certain moment a commanding officer has to deal with a huge amount of data that provides us the information and the assessment to give the best option and the best solution for the tactical situation. So that's why AI is so important for us in our Navy. On the other hand, in the administrative issues, we in our organization in the Navy, we try that to focus the people that are going to be dealing with this business of preparedness, training, academics, and so on, are going to be reduced because we want all them to be on board the combat platforms. That means that we have to be efficient there. So we have to provide them with the tools to reduce the manpower. We invest in that and to have more people available for the combat platforms.
Mm-hmm. And the air service is a very technological dependent service as well.
Of course,
Alex.
sir. So thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me to this panel. Of course, it's an honor to be here representing the Air and Space Force. And also it's a pleasure to be here in front of this audience of experts, because the matter we are discussing, the responsible AI, is really important. So artificial intelligence is becoming a strategic priority for the Air and Space Force because it directly affects the way we plan, the way we decide, and the way we operate in environments that are increasingly fast, complex, and data intensive, and both in the air domain and in the space domain. If we focus on the operational area, these systems allow us to process large volumes of data in near real time, improving situational awareness and allowing for rapid and better informed decisions. And for this reason, AI has become a key element for one important thing for the Air Force, that is the collaborative combat concept that will be supported by the Combat Cloud. Also, keeping us in the operational area, AI reduces critical cycles that are vital for us. One of them was mentioned yesterday, the OODA cycle. Another one is at the tactical level, the F2T2EA cycle. and the third one is a specific cycle of the Air Force, that is the cycle to produce the ATO, the Air Tasking Order. And if we move to the support functions of the military, if we change the focus, then we have what was discussed extensively yesterday, but we have the AI transforming the readiness of the force, for example, through applications like our future logistics system. As a conclusion, I will say that AI should be used to ensure that decision makers retain the initiative in an environment where speed and complexity will otherwise overwhelm our traditional processes.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. This response leads us to consider the next issue. Could you, Javier, please explain us some actual and detailed naval AI applications that require more ethical control and more responsible control?
Well, the Spanish Navy now is fully involved in having these autonomous means that are going to be going on itself with lethal capacity. That means that in that moment that something is going to be isolated, we need to have a strong direction, we have to have a strong accountability, and also we need to have a record of decision. So that's one of the challenges we have now, because in the moment that we say, well, this is going to be great, this is going to be autonomous, but at the same time we are not going to have any control of them. So we have to be very accurate in order to have the best algorithm possible. You see that there's no taxis here autonomous so far, because the percentage of accuracy we have in the system now is not 100%. We cannot achieve that. But when we're in a battle situation, we need to be aware that these means can be used, but we need to know when, where, and how we are going to deal in this situation. Mm-hmm.
Is this the same case for the army? Are this Army 2035 included this kind of systems?
Well, I would say it is similar. To begin with, most of yesterday's experts meetings groups concluded that AI for military use should be responsible by design. But if you ask me about critical use cases, they may be similar, but maybe the Navy is more, I'm talking about the mindset, platform-centric, maybe as the Air Force. And the Army is not. We are spread all over the place, so command and control, sharing the same ideas, uncertainty, maybe is a bit stronger. So I would highlight 3 use cases, in a way similar. Those related to autonomous weapon systems, but also support for decision-making. And in these cases, for us, control is important. So any system, any AI that supports some kind of identifying or engaging targets should have a strict control. Maybe human in the loop, or at least human on the loop, depending on the criticality level. Also, another case for us should be those related to intelligence analysis and maybe predictive threat modeling, in which these systems that fuse classified data should be auditable and trustable, because we must assure data provenance, and also the mechanisms to avoid biases and maybe miscalculations, misunderstandings. That's important for us. And finally, we have a lot of people, so all these systems related to personal assessment and career management, AI tools that helps us in recruitment, promotion, or medical recording, should be really transparent and should provide guarantees for soldiers' rights, and also to guarantee trust from the people. So they should be auditable. The rules should be, I mean, for example, the decision blocks should be clear, and to avoid this kind of maybe mistrust in the system. So I would highlight these 3 use cases as more critical ones.
It's very interesting that because the military, we are used to deal with some weapon systems that are not allowed to be used, like landmines, personal landmines, or chemical or biological weapon. But the considerations you have made about the personal management is a dual case, is a real dual case of AI systems to be applied in the military that should be as well,
yes, for us,
responsible in a sense.
For us, trust is the real enabler of capacity. So any system that should harm people's trust is dangerous for us. So that's why we highlight that specific point.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fernando. Alex, what about you?
Well, thank you. I have to concur with many of the things that has been explained by the Navy and the Army. For the Aerospace Force, the most demanding safeguards are required when AI influence decisions that are that have potentially irreversible operational consequences. In our context, this includes autonomous systems, but it also includes supported decision-making, targeting support, air and missile defense, and even space domain awareness. We in the Air Force also include in this group flight safety, as it is a top priority for the Air Force, where AI applications must meet the highest standards. In all these areas, accountability, clear human responsibility are of essence. At the same time, we must also apply the principles of responsible AI to the support functions of the military. As was discussed yesterday, they have a cumulative effect, you have mentioned that, a cumulative effect that we cannot forget. For instance, in our future logistic system that is called SLANG, SLANG sounds English, but you can believe me, it's a Spanish acronym for Next Generation Air Logistics System. Okay? So for this system that will provide predictive maintenance and logistics optimization, responsible AI principles should be applied as well.
Okay, we have seen your strategic concerns about AI implementation in the operational side. You've talked about the specific use cases in the 3 services. Let's move on to the governance side of this problem. I think governance is indispensable to assure a real, responsible AI implementation in our systems. I would like to know how do you see the governance solution for AI implementation, Alex?
Oh, thank you, sir. So we believe that responsible AI requires a layered governance approach that connects policy with operations with technology. At the strategic level, clear guidance must be established on acceptable use, risk tolerance, and legal compliance, and this aligned with the national legislation and international commitments. I believe that was made very clear yesterday at the inaugurational day, and there should be no doubts on that in Spain at least. At the operational level, AI systems must be assessed and validated in real training contexts, not only in laboratories. This includes evaluating how they behave under degraded conditions and how they interact with human decision makers under time pressure. And at the technical level, life cycle management is essential. Data provenance, model versioning, continuous monitoring, and auditability must be built into the systems from the start. This was also discussed yesterday in one of the panels. So the conclusion from my point of view is that governance should not slow down operations. On the contrary, the purpose of governance is to ensure that artificial intelligence can be trusted and therefore can be confidently used by the decision makers and the operators, by the commanders and by the airmen.
Yeah, very interesting. Javier, the Navy is a very experienced service in the digital transformation process. Your perspective will be very interesting to hear.
Okay, well, the Spanish Navy started with the AI 5 years ago, where we built up the first intelligence center in the Ministry of Defense. No? In that moment, we realized the leaders have that it was important for the Navy to have this capacity. No? As everything in life, I think that everything has a moment in life. So it depends on how mature is your organization in terms of digital transformation. You have to centralize or you can't decentralize. I think we're always thinking that, well, we are going to centralize the direction and guidance, and later on we decentralize the way we execute that direction and guidance. No? In the Spanish Navy we're in the first stage in this movement, and we are centralizing because we consider that any initiative in the Navy regarding not only the combat platform but also those that are implemented in the joint as you are leading in in FESTIC, we think that we have to have a full close control of the decision process in terms of what to implement, what are going to be the impact, to provide a coherence in the model. Training and education is essential in this moment, so we are dealing with how is going to be the training and the education in this area. So to answer directly to your question, I will say that now we are in a concentrate model, but we assume that in the near future we have to deconcentrate in order that the other levels can provide the appropriate answer to their needs.
Mm-hmm. You have said a very interesting point is the maturity of the organization to absorb all the governance consequences that this technology has. What about the army, the Spanish army?
Well, I must concur in most of the ideas, but again, the different services have similar missions, but different mindset. So I would highlight the human dimension of all this. Of course, the Army wants a governance model that assures responsibility, but doesn't slow down operations. Strategic level is very similar, leadership giving guidance, limits, ethical boundaries, etc. Operational is for the commands to assure that AI systems are validated, well-known, properly used, and not the technical, but at the tactical level, we need systems that must be auditable, but secure throughout the whole life cycle. So, as I pointed or anticipated in my first question, this model really supports, in reality it mimics our mission command leadership model. In a way that there's a clear intent at the top, there's responsibility in every level, and it allows for decentralized discipline initiative at every echelon. So for us, governance is not an issue of control on its own sake, but it's about ensuring trust, effectiveness, and alignment with our values, precisely to allow self-control at every echelon. That's the little difference.
We'll see. Yesterday I said that we are developing the military defense strategy for AI implementation in an implementation plan. I said more or less the governance. But we'll see. We can concur on these topics. And I think we have time for the last question. Is very related with governance. Is the literacy. We can trust in what we don't know. We don't. How the army is confronting this fundamental issue.
Well, I'm not objective because I'm part of Training and Doctrine Command. So for us, training is the foundation of responsible AI. And the Army will try to integrate not only AI awareness, but digital literacy across all stages of military education, from basic training to advanced professional development. So our objective is not to turn every soldier into an engineer, a technician, but to ensure that everyone understands what AI can do, what their limits are, and their responsibilities when using it. Officers and NCO education will combine precisely this technical understanding with our ethical reflection of its implications. And that will be fully aligned with the Army's humanistic and value-based leadership culture. As I said before, trust. Knowledge builds trust, and trust for us is essential for effective operations.
Thank you, Fernando. Alex, what about the Air Force, the Space Force?
This is going to become a tradition. I have to concur in almost everything that has been said. And this also was discussed yesterday in some panels. The conclusion is clear for me. Training is one of the most important elements of responsible AI. Our approach is to integrate AI education across the entire professional life cycle, from basic training to advanced courses for senior officers, even top brass officers. This includes not only technical understanding, as you explained before, but also the ability to critically interpret AI outputs and understand their limitations. Personnel must be trained to see AI as a decision support tool, not as an authority. So, preserving critical judgment is essential, especially in high-tempo operational environments. We are therefore reviewing our curricula. I mentioned that yesterday in my panel, to ensure that AI and human AI interaction is addressed in all our courses and education programs. And of course, adapted at the different roles in the Air and Space Force.
Yeah, thank you. Is the same case for the Navy, Javier? Are you
Absolutely.
considering to change the courses from the
Yes.
Navy school?
Well, we consider from the beginning that the jewel of the crowd should be education and training in this area, because I think that we don't have people prepared not only to handle how is going to be the new developments, how are going to be the new capabilities where we are going to be implementing the AI, but also that people that are using AI knows the limits, and I absolutely concur with the Air Force, because we need to know exactly what is the thing that what is provided. You know, in this way we have a plan that it's integrated in all levels, at the troop level, at the PT officer, and also the officer and the leadership. But it's a hybrid model, you know? Where we consider it's not just the Navy, but with the support with the academia. So that's why we have an agreement, indeed, with the Coruña University in order to be up to speed in this. This is being really fast, and we on our own are unable to cope with the challenge to have people prepare to develop, but also to use AI.
Well, thank you very much. Let me, there's a couple of minutes left to this very insightful panel. We've heard how the three services plan, train, and fight in a reshaping way thanks to AI. And it's a key technology to maintain an up-to-date doctrine, force structure, digital battlefield network. AI enhances military capabilities, supports optimization, and it's embedded in many combat system and decision support suites. Our panelists have shared the use cases of the three services where military AI is being applied, and the perspectives of their organizations regarding AI governance and literacy to ensure its trustworthiness. I now have the honor of closing this panel. I would like to express my profound gratitude to the generals and the admiral for their participation and for having provided clear understanding of how Spanish armed forces are confronting and challenging the modernity today embodied by responsible artificial intelligence. Please join me in offering a hearty round of applause to acknowledge not only their participation in this panel, but the dedicated service our Armada, Air Force, and Army provides to our society. Thank you very much.
Thank you, panelists. Now we are going to continue with our plenary session, but before that, I would